Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kirby's Epic Yarn playthrough. In the last part, we beat Fangora and opened the way to Hotland. Unfortunately, we didn't get the extra bonus patch from beating up Fangora. So, we are going to go and do that now, because I want to complete every world as it comes. So, we're redoing this boss fight. As I said at the end of the last part, this will happen on occasion. It's not going to be a regular thing. Pretty much most of the levels I can get both the gold medal and all of the collectibles in one fell swoop. And it's the same with pretty much most of the bosses. Actually, I think all of the bosses from this point onward I will be doing in one fell swoop. But where it's necessary, I will be redoing missions, just to give you a bit of a glimpse at different tactics, or specifically how to do certain things. I mean, in relation to Fangora, essentially you need to hit him with the fireballs twice to get enough beads to get that patch. Because obviously, for the first 2 hits of pulling the button, that gives you enough to get up 2 medals, but then you need to get further, and the 3rd hit doesn't give you the beads that you need, so you need to rely entirely on those fireballs. It's a bit of a mean way of going about it, and it does mean that you do spend a lot of time waiting in this fight. Especially when stuff like that happens, because the fireballs just counteract each other, and then you've just got to wait even more, and it's just like, really? Why are you doing this to me, Fangora? It's frustrating, but I'm just going to have a bit of a dance while we wait for the fireballs to come, and here they are. And instead of, being an idiot, we now have enough to get the patch, so it's time to land that killing blow. I mean, what I wanted to do with this playthrough is I wanted to very neatly edit that previous fight out and replace it with this one, but then I realised, oh, when we finish the mission, it's not going to work, because Kirby starts without the patch, but the patch should be there because I've done it, so it just made more sense to do it this way around. And also, even though the game's like 8-ish hours long, this is still going to be a reasonably short playthrough walkthrough, so I'm sure you're willing to just have a little bit more time to just sit and chill. Listen to the wonderfully relaxing music, and just have a wonderful time. And so, it's time to begin the first of the 2 optional missions, well, or optional levels, I should say, in the first world, which is Grassland, obviously. And this introduces us to Digger Kirby, who is fun, but I would argue probably my least favourite of the transformations. Largely because all of the levels are sort of have this verticality, and it can just be a little bit frustrating sometimes, because, yeah, it's very easy to drop down where you don't want to be and screw yourself over, I guess, out of getting collectibles or bonus star pieces, really. which is kind of mean. I mean, I suppose it's the whole thing of you've just got to treat it like a normal level, but just be a bit more careful. But it can be particularly annoying. I mean, I wanted to try and get as smooth a run of this game as possible, and I had to redo this level, or restart this level, many, many, many times. Because of either missing something or getting hit and just being like, oh, for God's sake. Because with the dig, it's just very easy. When it comes to, say, the penguin on the surfboard, or the tank bot, or any of those, or the UFO, you've got a lot more freedom when it comes to the transformation. Because, I mean, with the tank bot, you're just going forward and it's just obviously very easy. You cannot miss anything when you're in the tank bot. When it comes to the penguin, while it is possible to miss stuff, it's not... like, those levels tend to go quickly enough to not be too much of a chore to redo. With the digger, it's just that little bit too slow and that little bit too finicky, I suppose. And that's where my problem with it comes. It's just a bit like, oh, really? Also, I was just like, I just got so screwed over there. Just like, why? So, I mean, what I was trying to do was that, so that I could get through to here, so that I could then get, I think it's the final, yes, there we go, the final collectible, which is the CD. Generally, the CDs are always the final collectible that you pick up in a mission, so they're a good indicator of when you're coming to the end, really. Although, obviously, as you can see in this instance, it wasn't the last one, it was the second to last one. But then, oddly, that is frequently counted as the final thing in the collectible thing, so it's all a little bit odd. But either way, we are done here. Although I just wanted to, you know, get some more beads, because you do kind of need them if you want to complete all of the flats, because you need to keep paying for more levels to it. And also if you want to be able to purchase all the furniture and fabric in the game. So it's worth your while trying to get as many beads as possible, also because you don't get to see the gold rank, and that's probably the more important thing. But the more the merrier, really. And so, with that, we unlock the final level of Grassland. Weird Woods. Now, what is pretty much consistently the case is that these optional levels make major use of one of the Metamato transformations. Obviously, that molehill was the digger, and now we make use of the UFO, and this is an auto-scroller, so have fun. So obviously there's no way that this is going to go any quicker than it possibly could. Like, sometimes you think, yeah, I could possibly speedrun this. No, you cannot speedrun this type of level. It's just physically impossible. But it's still pretty fun, and also it's a nice little reference to obviously the Wispy Woods. which are a major mainstay of the Kirby franchise. I mean, I can't think of a single Kirby level, well, Kirby game that doesn't begin with some sort of grass world, at the end of which you face down Wispy Woods. I mean, maybe there is a game that doesn't follow that pattern, but it's pretty much tradition at this point, in the same way as Bowser is generally always the villain of a Mario game, and Ganondorf is pretty much always the villain in the Zelda games. You just can't have a Kirby game without some sort of reference to Wispy Woods. He's just that iconic. And while this is certainly not Wispy Woods, because I mean, look, it's dead weird. Like, very, 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 very weird. And also, it does rely on lots of sucking. It's the only way of ever describing this, but can't be helped. Now, it takes, I think it's about 2 blasts of the UFO's attack emitter thingy. I don't really know what to call it, because it's not really a laser. I suppose you could call it discharge? Yeah, let's go with discharge, because, like the Pokemon move, obviously. And, oh god, those guys. Never liked them in Kirby. Scarfies. Ugh. It's like they're adorable, but then they change and then you're just like, oh, for crying out loud, why do you do this to me? Why must you be so mean? Because I mean, when they transform, they're absolutely terrifying. I mean, that's kind of the whole point, is that you've got this adorable, cute thing, and then it just suddenly turns mean on you, and you're just like, Obviously, I mean, they're not too threatening when you're in UFO form, because just a very simple discharge of electricity, and they will be down for the count. But that doesn't make them any less terrifying when it does happen. And this is pretty much where you start to realise that bumping into things can get you in trouble. Because frequently you can end up bouncing into things that you don't really intend to bounce into, and you're just like, oh no, this is bad, this is very bad. Ah, help. And we also, yeah, tried my best to make this as clean a run as possible, but considering Kirby's Epic Yarn is as ultimately forgiving as it is, with respect to all of that sort of stuff, I thought it's fine if you see a little bit of me getting hit. Because it's difficult to get through the game entirely without getting hit. I mean, I'd say it's near impossible. But as long as I can get a gold rank by the end of a level, I will quite happily accept that. So let's have a dance, because that is the end of Grassland. And I just feel really, really, really happy to have made a good start on Kirby's Epic Yarn, because I have wanted to do this game for ages, and now is finally the time to do it. And we're going to power straight through. It's going to be an absolute blast. And I mean, just look at that. Perfect gold ranks, all collectibles. I think we're good to head on to Hotland. Let's go.